Cameroon are through to the last 16. Morocco are through to the last 16. Senegal are on 4 points from a possible 6. Can Algeria get their first win of the tournament? Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to preview Algeria's second AFCON 2021 group phase match coming up against Equatorial Guinea. And there's actually a little bit of pressure on us for the first time in a little while that I can remember. There is pressure because if we don't beat Equatorial Guinea, we're going to be on the brink of elimination and we're going to be in massive trouble if we draw or lose this game. We've got to win this game. This is quite simply for me a must-win game. Like, we can't even consider coming third in the group. We've got to win this game. We've got to get on to 4 points. And we're going to come on to some of the factors affecting our performance in the first game and what might even affect our performance in the second game. But quite simply, we cannot walk away from this Equatorial Guinea game without getting the 3 points. We have to make it 4 points out of 6 going into the Ivory Coast game, or the pressure's going to be humongous. We don't want to be in a situation where we have to beat Ivory Coast or go home. That's going to be a very nervy situation. So the group table after one game sees Ivory Coast top with 3 points, Algeria and Sierra Leone second and third with 1 point each, and then in bottom place Equatorial Guinea after they lost 1-0 to Ivory Coast in their opening game. And you have to say, Equatorial Guinea had chances to draw that game and equalise, particularly in the second half. And if they had better quality up front, they may well have punished Ivory Coast. So this game, I think they're an easier opponent than Sierra Leone. I think their defence is worse than the Sierra Leone defence. They've got a lot of players born and raised in Spain. Of course, it was a Spanish colony, and you'll find a lot of Spanish-speaking players within their team. They've got Emilio Nsue, who's been playing up front. He was at Middlesbrough, I think he was at Birmingham. He used to play in the Championship in England. He's currently without a club like Belali. He's sort of their best player. And also they've got Salvador, who, if you don't know who he is, I think he's the guy with the red hair. He seemed to be everywhere, tackles, chances, crosses, shots. The guy with the red hair was just everywhere for Equatorial Guinea, so he's a bit of a threat as well. So him, Salvador and Nsue are the two players that I'd be most worried about. But considering that Ivory Coast game they had, they didn't seem too clinical at all. I think as long as we just get that first goal in the first half, it's going to be okay, and try and boost that goal difference as well. Now, the group permutation is actually head-to-head comes first, then it's goal difference. So I think it's still good to get 3-4 goals in this game, but head-to-head against Ivory Coast could become crucial when it comes to the third game. But hopefully we get the win here. Now, the pitch in Douala, I think it's in Douala, is absolutely horrendous. It's literally a mud bath or a sand bath. I don't know what you want to call it. It's just like dust. Like, it's how long have Cameroon had to prepare for this tournament? For CAF to give us the worst stadium, this massive pitch of sand and dust and mud, right, in Douala. The pitch is shocking. It's an absolute shambles, right? Considering the pitches, you know, you've got the likes of Mahrez and Slimani playing on every week. We could get injuries on this pitch. It's not safe and it's not fit for purpose, but we're going to have to deal with it. And apparently there's going to be some rain before the game as well, which is going to ruin the pitch even more. And Ivory Coast are going to play Sierra Leone on that pitch just before we play on it. So they're going to completely tough it up, and then we're going to be left with the horrendous second-hand field, potato field that they've been running around on. It's horrific. It's going to injure our players and it's going to stop us stringing passes together. So that's a huge shock. But this game taking place on Sunday night, thankfully, alhamdulillah, it's not at 1 o'clock in the day. Right, we have got a game in the dark. It's taking place at a 7 o'clock kickoff UK time, an 8 o'clock kickoff Algeria time in the evening. Still going to be hot, still going to be humid, but hopefully a little bit cooler. We have got to win this game on Sunday night. Now we're going to see, just before we play, of course, Ivory Coast are going to play, as I say, on the pitch. So our players and us fans, we're going to know what the result of that game is going to be, and that might impact how well we do. Like, for example, if Ivory Coast win against Sierra Leone and make it 6 points out of 6, we know if we want any chance of winning the group, we have to go out there and win comfortably and then try and beat Ivory Coast in the last game. Of course, if Ivory Coast and Sierra Leone draw, that really does open up a situation for Sierra Leone to be on 2 points, then go into that final game with a chance of progressing even as first or second. So it's going to be interesting. But the game on Sunday night against Equatorial Guinea, we're looking out for Salvador, the red head guy. We're looking out for Nsue, who used to be in the championship. Apart from that, it's all good in the hood. Their best player, Pedro Obiang, is missing the tournament for injury in midfield. He used to be at West Ham. He's not there. In terms of our team, at the time of filming this, and you know, with this COVID situation, anything can happen, anything can change, right? All 28 players in the squad are available for selection. Banassa's back from suspension. Zerouki and the nurse have recovered from illness. Everyone is available to be picked. So the question I hear you ask is, what team should Jamal Belmadi pick to face Equatorial Guinea? In goal has to be Rice and Ball, your goalkeeper. Let's not forget, just kept a clean sheet in the first game despite everything that happened. Left back's got to be Remy Bensabeni, almost scored in the last minute. Right back's got to be Yusuf Atan, loves to get forward. Centre half, Issa Mandy. Do I want Badalane to start? No, I want Ben Lamry to start. I want Mandy and Ben Lamry together, just like we did in the last cup. Let's not faff about here. Just play the back four and the keeper that won you the last cup, please, Jamal. All right, and we'll be fine at the back. So there's your keeper and back four. Midfield, again, I want us to go back to the tried and trusted methods of Ismail Banassa, Rami Zerouki, and Sofiane Feghouli just in front of them. It's like last AFCON midfield, just Zerouki's in there instead of Adeline Goudiora, right? So Banassa, Zerouki and Feghouli. Yassine Brahimi, I love you, mate. You just don't pass. You don't release the ball quick enough. You missed a few sitters. Top player, but he's got to be on the bench for this one. Otherwise, he's just going to think he can play every week and he can play poorly and still get in the team. Nah. Sorry, Yassine. On the bench, my son. So, Banassa, Zerouki and Feghouli, please, as your midfield three. And then up front, on the left, Yusuf Belaili has had 2 poor games now. Poor against Ghana, poor against Sierra Leone. But I still back him, and we know what he can do. I don't care if he ain't got a club. Stick confidence in Yusuf Belaili. I think he's got a funky new haircut. So Yusuf Belaili on the left. If Yusuf Belaili doesn't perform again, then we consider dropping him. Because Said Ben Rahman's probably thinking, I'm scoring in the Premier League, I'm assisting in the Premier League, in the Europa League, and I still can't start for my national team. But Ben Rahman came on and missed a huge chance against Sierra Leone, so I don't want to hear it. So I'm sticking with Yusuf Belaili. I'm sticking with Riyad Mahrez, of course, the captain. The only good thing now is we can bring on Adam Munoz on the right if we need to. And up front, you go for Slimani, you go for Baghdad. Well, it's the $1 million question right now. I still am inclined to pick, considering it's Equatorial Guinea, I'd pick Slimani. I think he might go Bunajah for this one, you know. He might do, because of the pressing, and Bunajah can run more. Slimani, sort of static, can't run, but more clinical. He could go Baghdad. I'd go for Slim. So for me, I'm bringing in Banassa, I'm bringing in Ben Lamry, and I'm bringing in Zerouki, and I'm bringing in Feghouli. So what's that? 4 changes to the team that drew to Sierra Leone. I think it's imperative that we keep a clean sheet, again, considering the amount of 1-0s and 0-0s at this tournament we've seen. So it's imperative we keep a clean sheet, because if we concede a goal and the defence starts getting leaky and we've got bigger teams to come, that's going to be an issue. Let's get 2 clean sheets out of 2. Rice, Rami and Yusuf at the fullbacks, and then Mandy with Ben Lamry, just like we did last time. Banassa, Zerouki, Feghouli is our best midfield 3. Mahrez is the captain. Slimani Bunajah is very close between those 2 at the moment. And Belaili and Ben Rahma, it is getting closer between those 2. So that's the sort of team I'd look to pitch against Equatorial Guinea. This isn't the time to experiment. No risky 4-4-2s, please. He might do it. We're going to see what Belmadi does. The only main issue that could stop us is the pitch itself, because the pitch is awful. Like, that ball is going to bobble around everywhere. Yes, it will be hot, but it will be less hot and less humid than the first game, because we're playing at 7 o'clock. And of course, if we don't lose this game, that will take us to 36 games unbeaten, which is just 1 away from the record that currently stands by the Italian national team of 37. So the whole unbeaten thing, I don't really care, if I'm being totally honest. Right now I don't care, because we're not going to win AFCON trophies for being unbeaten, right? We could draw all 3 games and go home. So the important thing is the win, take us on to 4 points, and inshallah, going into that Ivory Coast game, knowing that we're through pretty much, and with the chance to top the group still. So let's do the first task. Let's beat Equatorial Guinea. We've got a referee in this game who's not African, which is interesting. We've got a referee from Central America, from Guatemala. Guatemala referee for this game, not an African ref. We've seen a lot of teams get penalties. Cameroon have had a few penalties. Senegal had that penalty. Morocco had a penalty. I know they missed it against Comoros. Outstanding Comoros goalkeeper, by the way. What an outstanding goalkeeping performance. like the guy Kamara for Sierra Leone, to be fair. So hopefully, good referee, good humid heat conditions, bad pitch. But we'll see what happens. Score prediction time. I will take any win, okay, rather than playing so well and not scoring again. So I will be very satisfied. Once again, I'll take 2-0. I'd be happy with 2-0. I'd take 2-0. A win by more than 1 goal is what I'd hope for. But guys, Algeria take on Equatorial Guinea in their second group game. The nerves are kicking in. We've only got 1 point. We could be 5 points behind Ivory Coast by the time we kick off. Anyway, what are your score predictions? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more and enjoy the game.